Welcome to our second video in the series on geo and geotechnology. What I'm going to do today is lay some of the foundational elements out for what we'll be talking about in other episodes in this series. So just to remind you, we're talking about geo, which is about the Earth, and we're really talking about locations and things on the Earth. Now, many people think about geotechnology as relating to geography, and in many ways it is, but it's not just exclusively a geographic discipline. It actually covers lots of other disciplines as well. We're really talking about the stuff that's out there, whether it's human or whether it's physical based things. We're talking about what's on the Earth. So when we start thinking about that, we need to start thinking about, again, when we think about technology, is how do we take elements, those things that are on the Earth, put them into a computer system, very fundamental. How do we represent what the Earth is in a computer? Well, we actually have to create what's often called a digital twin. And I think it's a really very, very good way of expressing what you're doing. You're really taking what's on the Earth, putting it into a computer system. So how do we do that? Let's think about the kind of things that we might be dealing with in a geotechnology system. We'd be talking about a vehicle, a car. Uber is a good example. When we pull up our Uber app and we look at a map, we see a car moving on that map. And that's fundamentally how we interact with Uber. We know where it is, we know how long it's going to take to get to us. So that's technology, geotechnology in action. But how's that car represented in reality? Well, we can represent things on the Earth like a car in one of three different ways. We can represent things as points, a car, a traffic light, a valve, a fire hydrant. We can represent it as a polygon, so maybe a park, a bigger area, maybe the footprint of a building, maybe a state, maybe a country, maybe a lake. So there's a second type of feature shape, if you like, that we can represent in a computer system. And the third one is a linear feature, like a river or a road. So there are three fundamental ways that we can represent things in the real world in a computer system. And that's how geotechnology is built. We initially have to actually go out there, collect information on the things that we're interested in, and bring it into a computer system, store it in a geo database. So let's think about the water supply and a water utility. There are pipes, there are valves, there are pumping stations, there are vehicles moving around, there are employees. Now we can represent all of those things in the different ways I've just described, those three different types, in a computer system. The output, often the output is in the form of a map, and we'll touch on maps in one of the other series moving forward, but fundamentally geotechnology is built on building a digital twin, a representation of the real world within a computer system. In the next series, we'll build on top of what we've just described and talk about what systems have been built historically and continue to this day, and what's beginning to be built on top of these systems to actually take that data I've just described, that fundamental geodata, and actually start answering questions that we might have of that data.